This is the topic 4 video for Module 7 in Introduction to Programming Logic. And in Module 7, Topic 4, we are going to be working with strings. You are introduced to the idea of strings in Coral whenever you put anything inside quotations. That was a string. But you did not have a way to save that string to a variable. Now you do. In Java, we work with a character data type and we work with strings. Characters build to make a string. So a string is a list of characters. And so you have access to both of these data types. We will be using the string data type the majority of the time. A character is actually what we call a primitive data type, and a string is a reference data type. So notice the difference between lowercase and uppercase. Whenever you see the uppercase, that means it's a reference data type. That also means that it has a variety of methods that we can use. And so there's a PowerPoint here to kind of go along with the videos. We also have referenced the W3 strings material, so please take advantage of that. There are 3 or 4 things underneath strings, and so you should always kind of look at all of those topics. You don't use this as a reference. Like, we're not expecting you to go through everything, but notice we've been talking about concatenation, and they have some examples here. They've been talking about numbers and strings, and they have some examples. So this is how you would declare a string in Java. This is how you would output and use concatenation. This is an example of concatenation using that plus. They also are showing you some methods. How do you use a method? Once you have the object declared, txt is the name of our object, you can use the name of the object plus the method. Name of the object, I said plus, I should have said dot operator, dot name of the method. And so whenever you have a reference type, look for methods that you could potentially use with that reference type. Concatenation is what we have shown you when you put together more than one string. So first name plus space plus last name. In Coral, you would have to have 3 different put statements to put these together. In Java, you can use 1 statement instead of 3. So it kind of streamlines that process. Here's another example of concatenation, and you might use that on your programming assignment for this module. Here are some examples of using numbers and then strings. The difference that they're going to highlight here is the following. Please note, when I add x plus y, x and y are strings. So it's going to add the words 10, 20. It's not going to be 30. If I go ahead and execute this, or you saw the output, it is actually adding whatever these strings are. So if I just type something weird in here and I run this again, it's going to take whatever is inside those quotation marks and add it to the 20. So my X is a weird string. My Y looks like a number, but it's not a number. And so be aware of the data type that you're using and the fact that you actually can, quote, add strings, which means that you are concatenating or putting the strings together. It doesn't mean that you are adding the numeric values like it appears to be doing. All right, let's go back to our module. Whoops, went back too far. So look at your W3 schools. Also, W3 schools has the string reference, and these are all of the methods that you have available that you can use with the dot operator on strings. You aren't going to use hardly any of them. You will use a few of them, but know that they are available to you. This is a video that shows several different string methods, the most commonly used ones. So watch that video. It's better than what I just showed you there. And then these are also a list of the most common from that big list that's on W3 schools. This specifically shows you difference between characters and strings on that video. So again, watch that. And then here's the sample program from the video. All right. And so watch those videos. Input with a scanner is going to be critical to learn, and there are some quirks that can occur, and so there are going to be several videos here that show you how to work with the scanner, so please watch those videos. The gist of it is that you have to create, well, you have to do a couple of things. Just like the random class, you have to import the scanner, and then you have to create a scanner object. And then when you work with the scanner, you're going to use the name of that object. So this one is called my object. We usually name it something more descriptive. I can't actually highlight that. But notice here, it's my object dot next line. So it's indicating that this is a reference variable. It's an object, and you're going to use the name of that with your dot operator. Dot next line is the most commonly used scanner method in order to read input from the scanner. And the scanner is your input screen. The scanner is your keyboard. Okay. And so we need an import statement. We need to create a scanner object. We should prompt the user to tell them what we want them to do. And so the prompt is please enter your username. We invoke a method such as dot next line. So this is evoking that method. So we do a prompt for the user. We ask them, hey, please do something for us. And then we read in that data, and then we store it to a variable. So notice that this action is going to return a value. That value will be stored to that variable, and then we output it. There are videos that actually show you that additionally. Okay. And so just a little quick overview there. Please watch these videos. There are some glitches that can occur. And this also shows you how to work with numbers, which you're going to need for your assignments. So watch those videos. You then have 2 assignments. You're going to go to your workspace in Coral. The directions are not going to be there. The directions are going to be here. So follow the directions here for your assignments. There's 2 of them. One of them is with the string library, and the other one is with the scanner, and there's very specific directions here. Read the directions. If you need clarification on them, then you should reach out to your instructor for that. And that should wrap up that module. Please complete the module survey because we kind of want to know how your introduction to Java went, and we want to head off any difficulties you might be having. So that's going to be a wrap in terms of Module 7. Depending upon your instructor, you may or may not have some bonus points for like career activities like attending the career fair. That's instructor preference. Okay. Good luck with your Java coding.